What's up, YouTube? Fairy Tale Review, Chapter 493, The White Dragneel. Oh man, so I was gonna give this chapter probably a 3 out of 5 until the very end. Wow, that took it up a notch, and now it opens a whole bunch of shitload theories. It's changing the way I feel or think of what was the story and what happened in the past of Fairy Tale. So anyway, with the start of the chapter, we get Mary Jane going up against Eileen, and Eileen overpowers her completely. She still uses her swords and their powers. So she's able to tie down Mary Jane, and she she uses the other sword, and she puts like this like acid steam stuff, and it starts burning Mary Jane, and Eileen is like being savage here, man. With Eileen, she's like really cool and really like all sexy and stuff like that, but man, she's cruel. We already knew she was like kind of a bitch, but man, she's got like this sick mind. Kind of reminds me of like Urza, but like it's evil. Like Urza's got like this messed up mind in another way, but it's cruel. Man, I was kind of nervous for Mary Jane. I was like, don't do this to Mary Jane, please, don't harm her. Don't harm her. She was ready to torture her. And then August shows up, and he tells her, hey, your ways are, weird and shit, they're violent and unnecessary. So we get an interaction, and then Brandish is there as well. We get an interaction between Eileen and August. And August tells her, oh, stop doing this. You're wasting time. And then Eileen gives him this look like, bitch, are you ordering me around? And then he gives her a serious look. But then she lets him save face and decide to let him take control. So we find out that August actually said, oh, I'm giving you an order. August is the general of the Spring on 12. He's not just one of the stronger ones, but he is the general. As far as who's stronger between the two, I guess you can still give the case to August, maybe just a little, because he is technically her chain of command. He is higher than Eileen, which I think is great. You still keep the hype for August because he's been hyped up for a while, and then Eileen still has the hype, as in like, oh, I'll let you save face, I'll let you take control for now. But she says, oh, but I want to finish this girl off, and I want to torture her. And Hero scares me for a second, but then I'm like, it's Hero still. He tends to mess with my emotions. And instead of like torturing her, August goes and just takes out Mary Jane through the fucking heart. He says, oh, I stabbed her through her heart. Now we have to get out of here. And Eileen's like, oh man, party pooper. So they start walking off, and then Mary Jane's just there coughing, stuff like that. And she's like scared out of her mind, because she's like, these people are fucking OP as hell. Man, but then I'm thinking, there's no way they're gonna kill off Mary Jane, because the way they did this was, it felt really fast, and Hero doesn't normally do that if he ever kills a Fairy Tale, which I don't think he has. When it comes to death, Hero just has like, he's a troll sometimes. He'll fuck with your emotions. But the way that Mary Jane doesn't die, it made a lot of sense, because you get Lasana coming over and lifting her up, and then she like looks at her chest, she looks at her wound, and she's like, what the heck, it's like smaller than before. So it turns out Brandish shrunk down her wounds, and Brandish is still fucking powerful herself, and she looks back at Mary Jane, like giving her this look like, oh, I helped heal you, which I really like, because Brandish, her whole character has always been this kind of lazy, laid back, kind of like a chill person, kind of cruel sometimes, a little sick in the mind too, they're all crazy. But she's always been the type of person who doesn't like fighting, doesn't like going to war, she's lazy as hell. And she has come to the conclusion she doesn't like this war. She doesn't like going to battle. She doesn't want to betray her empire. But I'm glad that they're sticking through with her character being like, I've already made my decision on this war. I hate this war. I don't want to kill Fairy Tale. We're gonna wipe out a whole bunch of people for what? Just to destroy this world, or like destroy this country. She doesn't agree with her emperor's decisions, but she can't do that in front of them. Otherwise, they might kill her themselves. Who knows? I especially wouldn't do that in front of Eileen. Maybe August might let it slide, but Eileen, definitely someone. Maybe they already knew that she did that, and then they just let it slid away. They're like, oh fuck it, we knew she healed her. I'm pretty sure that's the case. There's no way they let those two powerhouses let that slide like nothing. So the rest they say it's time for the Spring on 12 to gather, and I'm like, who's gonna gather? Everyone else is like either one-shotted or fucking plot armored, or the rest of them is like one-shotted from the rest of the Fairy Tale and the rest of the war. Well, they weren't one-shotted, but they were taken out pretty quick. They were good, quick fights, a little too quick sometimes. I've really been enjoying these fights with Springbone, but I need another chapter for at least each of those Springbone 12s, at least an extra chapter for those fights. Hopefully, for these these couple Springbone 12s, there's going to be interesting fights here coming soon. But then after they mentioned, oh, it's time for the Springbone 12 to gather, you see Demaria trying to escape out of her prison, you know, and they're about to grab her again. And then you see these two, like, these guards, they get, like, this white light that covers them, like, oh, what the heck? And the translation said, oh, it feels so good. I was like, what? What does that mean? And then they pass out. And then we finally get I think it's the last Springbone 12 that we have not seen yet, that has been, like, no build-up. You know, they've been hiding this guy. His name's Rahkeid, and I'm like, oh, who is this guy? You know, we still need someone. They mentioned his name a couple times, but there's no build-up. Makarov probably didn't know who he was. No one's really talked about him or hyped him up. But he shows up, and here's where the twist comes. I've come for you, Demaria. And she turns around, and it says his name. Rahkeid Dragneel. What the heck? Who is this guy? Okay, is he Natsu's brother? Father? Son? No, not son. I don't think so. Son from the future? Son from the future, I'm throwing that in there. Past brother, did he also come through the time porter? The eclipse? Did he come through the eclipse gate? Who is this guy, man? There's gonna be a lot of theories popping up now online. I gotta start reading them theories myself. Maybe I'll create some of my own. I have to rethink all my theories now, because, like, this guy comes in and he looks badass, man. He's got, like, this holy shit. Like, he looks like an angel, or like he's dressed up like an angel-like figure, or like someone like who worships Christ or God. He's got crosses on him and everything, and he looks cool. And I'm like, wow, what the fuck? How many brothers does Natsu have, or siblings does he have in this war that he has yet to find out? Because first we got Zareth Dragneel. We already knew that for a long time, and now we have this guy, Rahkeid Dragneel. I gotta check if I'm pronouncing that name right. Let's see. I thought the pacing was really good in this chapter. We got some character development between August and Eileen and how they interact with each other. You could tell they're gonna be butting heads in this war. They're probably gonna be disagreeing on decisions. What else? We see some more character development with Brandish, or more character interaction. You know, I'm glad that they're sticking with it. Her being against this war. I really like that. What else was in the chapter? But man, that ending, like, I'm all tongue-tied right now. Has risen this chapter to, I think, a 4.2 out of 5 stars. It was a really good chapter. I'm really excited for what's going to happen next. I don't know if they're going to give an explanation or a flashback, but I want to see this Dragneel, this new Dragneel in action. Hopefully I'm hyped up for him. I hope he lives up to the hype. But now that Hero has shrunk down the Springbone 12, and I'm really, he has shrunk down the Springbone 12. There's, like, let's see, we got August, Eileen, Demaria, Brandish, and the new Dragneel dude. That's 5. I think that's enough villains for Fairy Tail. That's enough powerhouses right there. I'm really excited. Brandish is a wild card in this. We still don't know what direction she's going to go. But I'm really excited because before, I think there's too many villains for Hero to fit into this war. And he's kind of chopped off the ones who weren't necessarily as strong. But though I was kind of disappointed with the Reaper guy, the one that Gadriel fight. Oh man, I'm forgetting his name right now. Fuck, I really liked him a lot. I was really hoping he was going to stick around. Maybe he might. Who knows? Maybe he might come back. Who knows? But these villains are really going to make things interesting in this war. Because I think Hero has surrounded himself, has put these villains. I think he's saying, these are the legit villains now. These are the villains I'm going to put extra chapters on. And we're probably going to hopefully see some death. I'm crossing my fingers. It's going to kill me if there are some deaths for some of my favorite characters. Like Mira Jane, I was freaking out about Mira Jane possibly dying. But I'm like, no, the way that they do it that way, it seems too quick. Crossing my fingers for it. Come on, Hero. Live up to this hype. I'm getting hyped up again for the past couple chapters. Hope you guys liked the review, and I am out.